Okay guys, I'm about to make some saltfish fritters and I just thought of an idea. I think I want to add some crab meat in there. So it's going to be crab meat saltfish fritters. Oh, can't wait to see how that's going to turn out. My saltfish is finished boiling. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to debone it. Whenever you do saltfish, if you want to taste the consistency of salt in there, you cut it from the thickest part of the fish in the middle and you taste this. That's when you will know, if you're satisfied with the amount of salt that's left. Don't boil all the salt out of it. You have to leave a little bit of salt in there, okay? This is boneless, but sometimes you find little bones in there. That's why I like to debone it while I am trying to separate it. Okay, so I'm finished cutting, breaking up my saltfish. Now I'm going to cut up my crab meat. And this is something new I'm trying. The taste, the combination, I think it's a good match. So let's give it a try and see what I can create with this. You got to be different sometimes, you know. Can't do what everybody do. This is how recipes are made and created, okay? Okay, these are my ingredients. I'll be using in my crab meat saltfish fritters today. I have some scallion, thyme, onion, tomato, and pepper. Black pepper. I'm just going to use a small amount of baking powder, some garlic powder, and my favorite, Badia complete seasoning. I like to flavor my food. So that's what I'll be using in my fritters today. Whenever you cut your seasoning, make sure you cut it very small. And please watch your fingers while you're using your knife. Be very careful. Here's another idea. Instead of using your knife, you can use a scissors. That's a kitchen scissors. It makes things so much easier, especially when you're cutting seasoning and also when you're cutting your meat. For instance, boneless chicken does a great job. Okay, there's my pepper. Just a few nips of the pepper. I'm not going to use the whole thing because I don't want it to be too overwhelming with pepper. I want to actually taste the flavor and not just pepper. I had that pepper for like 4 years now. I got from my friend Erica in Atlanta. So you can freeze your pepper and you can have them in your refrigerator in a freezer bag for many years. Okay, I'm gonna slice my onions. And you're gonna try to slice it as small as possible. I think I'm struggling with that knife because it's a little bit dull. I need to sharpen it a little bit more. So you could chop it in medium size at first and then you can gradually work on getting it a little bit smaller. You have to be very patient when you're cutting up your seasoning. This is the longest process, the preparation time. When you're doing food, you have to do it with a lot of love. So chop as fine as you can. Not micro that you can't see it now, but as much as you can. You see how beautiful all my seasoning looks? This is what's going to give my fritters all the flavor. Okay, when it comes to the thyme, I'm not going to be using the sticks. You're just going to shake off some of the thyme leaves, and that's what you're going to use. You can save the sticks for later, like when you're making chicken or any other kind of meat. Let's move on to the tomato. You're gonna cut it not very, very small, but like medium size. Medium to small is good. That I have no flour in the house, just a little tad, not enough to make the fritters. So I'm gonna be running out to get the flour now. Always double check your ingredients and everything before you start a project. Lesson learned. Okay guys, I am back in the house. So let's finish up our saltfish fritters. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put my saltfish and crab. Can't let nothing go to waste. It's not that much to begin with. So I'm just going to mix up my flour. This is what I had left over. And as you can see, I don't measure. You don't want to put too much flour to overpower the codfish and the crab meat. So I'm going to put my seasoning. There we go. Just want to blend it in. I'm going to put some black pepper, just a little baking powder, not much. I'm just going to put this much baking powder, okay? When you have too much baking powder, it absorbs too much of the oil. You see that you can actually see the saltfish, your seasoning. But I think I could use a little bit more flour. I just don't want to pour too much at one time. going to be adding my water, my liquid right now. This looks like you can take a little bit more flour, you know. You know, as you go along, you can determine what you need to add to it. And if you do end up putting too much water, you can always add a little bit more flour, okay? You don't want it too watery. I think this is pretty good for me. It's not too watery. Do a little taste. Maybe just a tad of, just a little bit of salt. Excuse the noise, there's some construction going on. Okay guys, I think we're ready. Yeah. Alright guys, so here's the final finale. I haven't made saltfish fritters in a while, so I know it will turn out well. It's like riding a bicycle, you never forget, right? So make sure your oil is well hot. You can turn it down just a tad, but make sure it's very hot, because if not, it's gonna absorb too much oil and you don't want that. I changed my spoon. I got something a little smaller. There we go. Yes. Flatten it out a little bit. So I'm going to leave it until I see the color start changing, and then I'm going to turn them. Okay guys, as you can see, the color has changed, so I'm going to turn them over now. Okay, here's what I like to do, guys. When I'm frying my fritters, I like to make like little holes. I like to make some little holes in them to make sure the inside is cooked properly. I don't want the raw fritters to eat. You see how the oil is going through it now? Okay, I think these are done. Make sure when you get your plate, you put a paper towel over it. You should smell the kitchen, guys. Smells awesome. second batch. Okay, I'm on my second batch, so this is my fritters. You know, I take a napkin and I like to take some of the oil out. I'm going to show you that it's cooked inside. See that? Oh, delicious. Okay, look who's here. Come, man.
Don't do that yet.
My mom is here. She's going to test the fritters. Here, mom. Try. That's saltfish and crab meat fritters.
That's all the saltfish?
Yeah.
It's good.
How is it?
It's good. You done all the crab meat, Karen?
No, I still have some.
Nice.
Okay, my second batch is almost finished. All right, mommy. You like it?
Yeah.
And it's this is a thicker one. And see, guys, it's cooked. It's cooked on the inside. You see all the saltfish? All right, go enjoy. Let me finish up.
Hot.
Of course it's hot. You gotta cool it. Okay, guys, here we go. That's the second batch going.
Look at this, Chris. No one.
Okay, so these are almost done. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be taking these out now. These are done. Nice and crispy. Look at that, both sides.
Crab meat.
It's not a bad combination. The crab meat and the saltfish turned out pretty good, guys. Okay, guys, for my last batch, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to add a little bit of my curry powder. Add a little bit more. Let's put the pot back on the fire. This is the curry fritters. It's well done and crispy. Okay, here is the final finale. The truth. Yeah, the truth. My saltfish crab meat fritters. You have this side that's curried and this side that's done just regular. Okay, I notice I could touch it. This is done. This is well done, but you see the color difference? me show you a more sexier one, I think. See the difference with the curry? I don't know, I think the color comes out a little bit more brighter. You can't tell the difference really, but when you open it, that's when you'll see. It's very nice, very tasty. I can actually taste the saltfish. The crab meat gives it a lot of flavor, but you can't really tell the difference. But you can see my saltfish. Hello. Not just fritters, flour fritters, saltfish fritters. Okay, another tip I want to give you guys, your flour. You can keep your flour in the refrigerator, in the freezer for years. I learned it from my Auntie Dulcie. You can have your flour up to 4 or 5 years in the freezer. Okay, so that's a free tip for you. Anyway, guys, bon appetit. I'm gonna enjoy this. Oh my god, so tasty, guys. Bye.